Everyone around you is watching the game. The stadium roars, the crowd erupts, goals, celebrations, drama. And you're sitting there thinking, I just don't get it. You've tried. You've sat through matches. You've listened to the hype, but something inside you just doesn't click. And when you admit it out loud, people look at you like you're broken, like you're missing some essential part of being human. But what if I told you that not caring about football isn't a flaw? What if it's actually revealing something deeply psychological about who you are? What if your indifference is a mirror into your mind, your values, and the way you see the entire world?
If you're someone who's ever felt misunderstood for not watching football, then make sure to subscribe. Because today, we're diving into the psychology behind why millions of people just don't care about the world's most popular sport. Let's get one thing clear first. This isn't about hating football. It's not about being edgy or contrarian. It's about understanding why your brain simply doesn't respond the way everyone else's does. Because here's the truth. When most people watch football, their brains light up. Dopamine floods in. They feel connected, excited, alive. But for you, nothing. And that disconnect isn't random. It's psychological. It's rooted in how your mind processes reward, meaning, and emotion. Psychologists have a term for this. It's called value incongruence. It's when something that society collectively celebrates just doesn't resonate with your internal value system. And that's not rebellion. That's not you trying to be different. That's your brain telling you that this particular activity doesn't align with what makes you feel fulfilled. And when you understand that, everything starts to make sense. See, people who don't watch football aren't all the same. They're not just one monolithic group of non-fans. No, they actually fall into distinct psychological categories. 4 types, to be exact. And each type reveals something profound about how their mind works, what they value, and how they experience the world. So let's break them down. And as we go, see if you recognize yourself. This is the person who doesn't hate football. They just genuinely don't understand why they should care. When everyone's screaming at the TV because their team scored, this person is sitting there thinking, okay, but why does that matter to me? They're not being rude. They're not trying to ruin the vibe. Their brain just doesn't produce emotion from watching other people succeed. Psychologically, this is someone with low vicarious reward response. That's the brain's ability to feel joy through someone else's achievement. Most people get a dopamine hit when their favorite player scores, but for type 1, that mechanism is weak or almost non-existent. They need direct engagement to feel excited. They need to be the ones making progress, solving the problem, achieving the goal. Watching someone else do it? That doesn't trigger their reward system. And here's what's fascinating. These people often have high intrinsic motivation. They're self-starters. They're the ones working on side projects, learning new skills, building something from scratch. They don't need external validation to feel good. They don't need to belong to a fan base to feel connected. Their sense of worth comes from within, from their own progress, their own growth. So when society expects them to bond over a football match, it feels hollow because their brain is wired for personal achievement, not collective spectacle. And that doesn't make them cold or antisocial. It makes them deeply independent. It makes them the type of person who would rather spend 2 hours learning something new than watching 22 people chase a ball. Not because they're better than anyone, but because that's simply where their brain finds meaning. There is the type 1 person, the internally driven mind. Now, there is a type 2 person, the one who saw through it. This type is different. They didn't always feel this way. In fact, they used to love football. They used to watch every match. They knew the players, the stats, the drama. But then something shifted. They started seeing it differently. They started noticing things, the commercialization, the fake narratives, the way media turns players into gods and fans into worshipers. And slowly, the magic died. Psychologists call this cognitive disillusionment. It's when something you once found meaningful starts to feel shallow. It's not that football changed, it's that your awareness did. You started asking questions. Why am I so emotionally invested in people who don't even know I exist? Why does a stranger's goal determine my mood for the next 3 hours? Why am I giving my energy to something that gives nothing back? And once those questions enter your mind, you can't unsee it. You realize that football, for all its passion and excitement, is ultimately a product. It's designed to keep you watching, to keep you buying jerseys, subscribing to streaming services, arguing online. It's entertainment. And for type 2, entertainment isn't enough anymore. They need substance. They need purpose. They need activities that contribute to their own growth, not just distract them from reality. So they step back, not out of arrogance, not because they think they're smarter, but because they've outgrown the illusion. They've realized that real life, their goals, their relationships, their personal development, those things matter more than watching strangers play a game. And once you see it that way, you can't go back.
Then we have the type 3 person, the mind that found something better. This type doesn't dislike football. They're just not interested. And it's not because they're boring or passionless. It's because their excitement lives somewhere else. Maybe it's cars, maybe it's video games, maybe it's music, movies, art, technology. Whatever it is, it lights them up in a way football never could. And here's the thing. This isn't about stubbornness. It's about how their reward system is calibrated. Psychologically, they have what's called selective dopamine triggers. That means their brain doesn't respond to just anything. It responds to specific types of stimulation. For some, it's the complexity of a strategy game. For others, it's the emotional depth of a film. For others, it's the raw power of a perfectly engineered car. Football, to them, feels repetitive, predictable. Sure, the outcomes change, but the structure is always the same. 90 minutes, 2 teams, 1 ball. But a new video game? That's exploration, discovery, mastery. A great movie? That's storytelling, emotional connection. A new car release? That's innovation, design, engineering, brilliance. Their brain craves novelty and depth. And football, for all its drama, doesn't provide that for them. So it's not that they lack passion, it's that they direct their passion toward worlds that feel richer, more interactive, more alive. And honestly, that's not a flaw. That's just how their mind works. If you're still with me and this is resonating, make sure to subscribe, because we're about to dive into the most honest type of all, the one most people won't admit out loud.
Finally, we have the type 4 person, the brutally honest realist. There's this group, the ones who say it plain and simple. Why should I watch millionaires live their dream while I'm struggling to pay rent? Why should I care about their success when my own wife feels stuck? This type doesn't hate football. They're just tired. Tired of the illusion. Tired of pretending that watching someone else win is going to make their own problems disappear. For them, football isn't an escape. It's a reminder of the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And psychologically, this is someone experiencing vicarious contrast effect. That's when watching someone else's success actually makes you feel worse about your own situation. It's not jealousy. It's not bitterness. It's just honesty. They look at football and think, what's the point? It doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't solve my problems. It doesn't move me closer to my goals. And they're not wrong. For someone focused on survival, on building, on climbing out of a tough situation. Spending 2 hours watching a game can feel like wasted time, like energy that could have been invested in something real. And for others in this group, it's even simpler. Football is just football. It's entertainment. It's fine, but it's not life-changing. It's not going to fix anything. And they'd rather spend their time on things that actually matter to them. That's not cynicism. That's psychological prioritization. They've decided where their energy goes, and football didn't make the cut. So here's the big question. Which one are you? Are you the internally driven mind? The one who only gets excited from personal progress? Are you the disillusioned observer, the one who saw through the illusion? Are you the selective passion, the one whose excitement lives in a different world? Or are you the honest realist, the one who's just keeping it real about where your energy should go? Maybe you're a mix. Maybe you see pieces of yourself in all four. And that's the point. Not watching football doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you antisocial. It makes you self-aware. It means you understand what your mind values. And in a world that constantly tells you to care about the same things everyone else does, that's actually a rare quality. Because at the end of the day, your time and energy are finite. And if football doesn't serve your growth, your purpose, or your happiness, then why force it? You're not missing out. You're just focused on something else, something that actually matters to you. So, if this made you think differently, if you finally feel understood, hit that subscribe button. We go deeper into psychology, self-awareness, and understanding your mind every single day. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. It helps us reach more people who think like you. And if you want to keep diving into fascinating psychology and human behavior, check out the next video on screen. Trust me, you'll want to see it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.